Hi guys. Yes, Rudy. Other picture, one of the pictures was taken something like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and the other one was taken 22 years ago. That was a picture taken for some administrative papers, I think. This is why I'm not smiling on the picture, because I tend to smile on pictures. They are here. I could see an ear at the bottom of the screen. Hi guys, welcome to the 22 years living in Japan Q&A. Let's make it a real Q&A this time. Hi Nosh. Because last time I think I ended up talking a lot and you listened. Thank you so much for that. But I hope you have prepared questions. I have already some of my patrons sent me questions already, so we can start with that. But also, I have to show you, before I forget, hi Marcus, the book. I think I've been telling you about this book for a year and a half since I started YouTube. Voila, that's the book that I wrote, the recipe book I wrote about 10 years ago. I think it was published in 2010 or 9. Yeah, 2010. Can you see here? Voila. And it's a recipe book about it's my favorite recipes, easy French family cooking in Japanese. That's my friend. Hi Robert. This is my friend Tateru Yoshino-san. He is a very famous chef. Ah, salut, super Pierre. Justement, j'allais commencer avec ta question. So we have to start with your questions, Pierre. He's one of the first, if not the first chef who got Michelin stars with his French restaurant in Paris. Hi Ramses. And he's like, how to say, not promoting, but like writing that this is a good book to make a simple but delicious family French cooking. Voilà. And you have, voila, the recipes. Alors that's me. I think I was a little bit not maybe do you say chubby. Voilà, bon, c'était le shiawase buttori kana wakanai kedo. J'étais pas super mince quoi à l'époque, hein. J'étais pas aussi mince que maintenant, on va dire, même si je trouve que j'ai grossi. Bon, voilà. Attends, un long hair. Voilà. That's me 10 years ago. Long hair, short hair, summer cut. It's so freaking hot right now, guys. Hein? Alors, we have our friend Mr. Stackhouse is in the house. So, what's your I have your question in French. Should I read it or do you want to ask it right away? Comment on fait? Tu veux la reposer en anglais ou je la traduis, Pierre? Mr. Stackhouse. Bon, alors I have to focus on this thing, Mr. Stackhouse. The question is, Mr. Stackhouse is our French friend who lives in England. And he's become a very good friend of mine. And his question is, seeing that I'm working for Japanese TV and I've been on a program on TF1. TF1 is one of the, the three main channels. We can say that, right, Pierre, in France. and it's like prime time, or a program that is broadcast on Sundays at something like 1 or 2 p.m. so everybody watches it. And I was in this program. Have I ever been approached by French TV to do programs? And if I had the time, would I do it? Like I could do, you know, the French version of Journeys in Japan, right? Oh my God, yes, of course, I would love to do that. And actually that gave me, that's a super good idea. C'est vrai, c'est la première chaîne européenne, number one European channel. Pierre, would you like to become my manager in France? Please find me this kind of jobs. That would be so amazing. Yes, of course, I would love doing that. Attends, Charlie wants to say hello. Hi guys, I'm here too. He was like scratching me. I'm here too, guys. I'm the star of the channel. Don't forget. That would be awesome, right? To do that for French TV. But the thing is that sometimes, you know, I'm like, because I forget French, would I be able to explain things as I can explain things in English or Japanese, even if sometimes my English is so bad, right? Hi June, Sylvia, Thomas, I see you coming in. But that would be awesome. So, I mean, the thing is that if I had the time, I could try and contact them directly, right? But, you know, not sure how I could do that. I have actually a few friends who work for French TV. I could ask them. Why not? That's an idea. Merci beaucoup, Pierre. If I start doing that, you will get a big hug from me. No, not only a hug. Big gourmet tour in Japan, okay? I've been approached by magazines. This is something that happened a few years ago, even last year. You know, when I meet, especially when I meet, hey Sharon, long time no see, editors, they ask me, you know, would you like to write for us? And each time I'm like, oh yeah, sure, you know, I would love to do that. And I end up never doing it. But because writing, it takes time, right? And I would have to take the pictures, etc., etc. That would be nice. But as you know, I'm already super busy with what I'm doing right now, which is great, but I don't have the time to do, let's say, creative things. That's something I could do actually on YouTube, right? If I had the time, you know, to make better videos. But I haven't been approached by French television. French television, if you're watching, please contact me anytime. I'd love to work for you. Voilà. Hey KK, aloha. Voilà. So that was Mr. Stackhouse question. Merci beaucoup pour la question, Pierre. C'était une très bonne question qui m'a donné des idées. Donc voilà. So you're appointed, this is official, I appoint you, I make you my official manager in France. Voilà. Donc faut que maintenant t'as plus qu'à chercher. Hein? Did you see, guys, the video that I uploaded 2-3 hours ago? T'as bientôt terminé ta pause, travaille bien, bosse bien. Hein? Et puis à très bientôt. I've had these images for something like a month or a month and a half. I already edited the bit in which I'm tasting the owanyaki. But you know what happens is that when I edit if I don't edit right away, then I see what I've done and I think it's super crappy. À bientôt. Bisous, Pierre. And I'm thinking, I've been hesitating, do I do it again, like buy the 2 obayaki and do it again? I'm not sure, but I thought the images are just so amazing that, you know, sometimes just the images talk for themselves, right? So I'm not sure I will, I don't know if I'm going to redo, which is going to take time, right? And I should do something else. So I think I will upload the same video, it's the same bits with me tasting the 2 obayaki and comments and how to go and find it in the Tobu, etc, etc. I will upload it tomorrow. Also, when it's just images, you know, I think that Japanese, because I have more and more Japanese people watching, which is makes me very happy, so that gave me new ideas, you know. But it's sometimes, you know, I feel like, and it's really true, I think I told you that before, but there are really days when I can't talk properly, no matter what, no matter the language. It's just that my brain is not working, it's not functioning properly. It happens in Japanese sometimes, it even happens in French. So this is why, you know, when I do shootings for TV, sometimes it's hard when it's live, because or even if it's not live, when it's the studio, for example, for TV Asahi, it's not live, but I can't re-explain what I'm explaining. And when my brain is not functioning, I'm like, oh my God, shoot, you know, I should have said that this wasn't the best way to explain things, you know, I should have, I wish I could have rephrased, you know, but this is how it goes, right? And that obayaki tasting is not very exciting, I think, but I think I will leave it as it is, because there are so many things I have to show you guys. And if I start redoing everything, like I also haven't uploaded the video I took in Kawagoe, when I had the unagi. I think I have to work on that and upload it. Yeah, instead of redoing it, making it better, which I should be doing, because I'm trying to make the quality better. This is also why I'm working again, you know, my English and Japanese. Voilà. Because I think, you know, my explanations aren't quite enough sometimes. So, you know, it's because I like the vocabulary, you know, when I talk about the food. So, I will probably upload the video with the tasting tomorrow. Voilà, voilà. You still here, guys? Alors, if you have questions, Karine, tu voulais participer au live, tu es là, si tu as une question, go ahead, fire it. I had another questions while I'm waiting for Ramses. Because I'm on my Feed Jennifer email. Thank you for changing chairs. Merci beaucoup. So you're going to get a present very soon. I have to work, I'm going to work on Patreon too. I'm thinking of, because I'm happy the way it is, you know, that Patreon is a family-like small group. But sometimes I think, you know, because there are things, I find super nice stuff, I think, and in Japan, nice articles, and I think that some of you might be interested in getting those. So I've been thinking these last days about creating new tiers, like high quality products tears. It won't be cheap because the products, if I buy something that costs already 30-40 bucks, you know, I can't create a tear at 35, right? Because then I have to send it. But I'm going to work on Patreon, I think, in August. Alors, the weather. Attends, toujours ton maté. Chiron, alors, what is my favorite city or town in Japan? Oh my god, that's a very hard question because I love so many places. But remember that at this time of the year, a year ago, I was in Shiojiri, in Nagano. And you know that I love Narayajuku, that old town. I love that place. It's just so amazing. But I love Osaka. I've come to love Tokyo too. It was hard at the beginning, but I love it. Hi Britta, have fun too. I've come to love Tokyo because you can find anything in Tokyo. You can even find quiet spots, almost countryside like areas, like so peaceful, so quiet, with, you know, a lot of green. Not on a large surface, but Tokyo is just such an eclectic and amazing city, I think. Thank you, Soam. Yes, please join us because we have those private lives on Patreon. It's a small group. It's the Feed Jennifer and the Babies family. And we are always having a lot of fun. And it's more like... I can use any word I like when it's a private live, right? Alors, I saw the other questions was, okay, alors, chotomate guys, how is the weather? The weather is just crazy. It's hell. Alors, I have to check, je sais pas comment on dit canicule en anglais. Canicule, you know when it's just so hot, guys. Canicule, English. Heat wave. We've been having the heat wave for a week now, so we have minimum. Ah, merci. Oh, Pierre, bravo. We've had the heat wave for a week, like at least 35, 36 degrees. I've actually been a little bit sickly this last week. At the beginning, I was wondering if I didn't have, like, you know, if I was suffering from the heat. I think it's kind of maybe both, a slight cold with the heat, and I've been just so exhausted. This is why I had to postpone this live stream. Feeling better now. But it's just hellish. Please do not come in July or August. The weather has started being very hot late this year, but August is just going to be hellish. So I would never advise you to come during during the summer. Maybe some wine would help. Yes. Thank you, Avogado. Alors, other questions? Thank you. What did I study at university? And then Karina. I studied languages. The main study was languages, so English and Japanese. Before that, I was studying Spanish. I stopped studying Spanish when I went to the university because I needed to study a rare language to be able, you know, to make a difference with all those people who study foreign languages. So I chose Japanese and I specialized in foreign languages. But also I studied, you know, marketing and Japanese history, and you know, also when you do it's a literary course, right? So you also specialize in your own language. You do, let's say, deep studies of your own language, right? Voilà. Alors attends, this is good. I see many questions. Alors oui, Karine, c'était, is it easy to make friends? Was it hard to make friends in Japan? Not at all. And I think that I mentioned that last time when I did the first live stream about celebrating, you know, the 22 years living in Japan. Even now, I don't have so many foreign friends. Do I have foreign friends in Japan? Hold on a second. Like real friends in Japan? I have, okay, you know, because there is friend and friend, right? Like people you know, and you know, you would hang around, but sometimes, or you know, or people you get on well with. I have a few foreigners and French people that I get on well with, but like the people I can rely on in Japan are not foreigners, they are Japanese people. I mean, if I had an accident today, I mean, my emergency number is of a Japanese friend, not of a French person. I had a French friend who I could rely on, but she's back to France. So now I just have, you know, real friends. I have real French friends, but they are in France. Voilà, acquaintances, right? And it's recent that I have a few more, let's say, French people and foreigner people, let's say, around me. Because I think I just, you know, changed my activities, and I was also maybe more, I realized that it's also good to have foreigners around you, right? Because I'm a foreigner after all, right? And with what I do, you know, it's also good to, you know, have my wine known by the foreigners communities. But as I've always said, for example, it's not because we are French that we will get on well, right? And I've never seeken the presence of foreigners around me since I've been in Japan. This is why when I was sent to Wakayama the first years, right away I made friends with Japanese people. And there was this one woman, you know, the prefectural government with whom I was hanging out on weekends, and you know, she is still a friend. But I know that all the other foreigners who were in Japan because they had done the JET program, they were hanging out all the time together. And I was thinking, you know, I'm not here. I didn't come to Japan to spend all of my time with foreigners. Of course, I was getting on well with a few of them, but you know, I wasn't seeking their presence. So, voila. Did I answer the question? Is it easy? Well, I mean, I think it can be easy, yeah. If you're open-minded, it can be very easy, right? Don't you think? Alors attends, have you visited Korea? Yes, I have. Once, when I went to okay, Deep Purple. I'm going to, okay, can we slow down a little bit with the questions, guys, because I'm going to miss many. Okay. I went to Korea 21 years ago. When I went to Thailand, I used Korean Airlines because it was cheaper. And on my way back, I did a stopover for 2 nights. It was nice. Alors, Deep Purple. Since you're into adopting dogs that were abandoned, will you be interested in making vids like hop for pound thingy? I don't know, is this a site, hop for pound thingy? What is that? Is this a rescue? Of course, I've said I would talk again. I have to do so kawaii. I will probably someday, because you've probably noticed that I'm doing many, to me, what I've been doing this last month, I think I've uploaded different videos of a different style, because I thought, why not? Why should I stick to just one style, right? So I will at some point, I think, talk about you know, those rescue matters. I can say that I've been, even without knowing it, I've been into rescue all of my life, right? Because when I was a kid, some of you know the story, I told that in another life, but like I was the one at home when I was like 3, 4, saying we have to let this cat in, right? Hop for pose, they rescue stray and abandoned dogs. But are they located? Because you know, I get messages for so many places, and recently I just I don't want to see that anymore. I mean, I have periods in my life when I don't want to see that anymore, because just the titles make me sick. And this is what's happening, because you know that I'm a very sensitive person. This name rings a bell. Rescue it's hard, and guys, you have to be very, very careful, because you can love animals, but when you start doing rescue, which was my case, you know, when I really did rescue was after Fukushima. And I went to a shelter where there were 60 dogs. You have to be very, very careful. Before that, did I go to Inawashiro before or after that? Before or after that, there were cats too. Oh my god, cats can be so dangerous. But I also do, you know, TNR, you know, trap, neuter, return. So you catch strays, you get them spayed or neutered, and then you put them back in their environment. Of course, I would like to keep them all, but I can't, right? I don't have my shelter yet, guys. But even if you put them back in the nature, you've rendered them a huge service. You did them a big favor by neutering or spaying them, because they will not make more and more babies, and there will be less strays in the street, right? Voila. But please remind me if I forget. Deep Purple, I should do a live stream about, you know, the animal things, the rescue. Well, tell you about all of my babies. That will give you an idea also of this, what's going on in Japan, because of course, you know me, I will elaborate. On dit comme ça en anglais aussi, élaborer, hein? Voilà. I'm going to stop, because if not, I won't be able to answer the other questions. How many languages do I speak? English, French, Japanese, right? What is my favorite Japanese literature? Do you mean a book? or an author. I must admit that I don't read that much of Japanese literature, because it's just too hard. It takes, I can, but it takes too long to read the kanji. Alors, Jennifer, what part of Japan haven't you visited? Ha! I've visited pretty much all of Japan, I can say. There are, of course, I think a few prefectures out of the 47 that I haven't visited. I think out of the famous places, where I haven't been is the Himeji castle and Issei Jingu. But I'm going to go to Issei Jingu very soon, because I have this shooting for Journeys in Japan. Alors, hi Anne. Alors, will you meet us in real life? We are all basically foreigners. Are you based in Japan? Deep Purple. I will probably do meetups some days, not sure. You know me. So everything is just so unplanned always that yes, of course. I will meet you guys. You know that questions about favorite literature. Well, I can say that I love Natsume Soseki, the author of I Am a Cat. That wasn't very hard to guess, I think. What's the best? Ah oui, alors, what's the best hot spring that you've been to Japan, Sylvia? I think you asked me that already on Instagram. Thanks for reminding me. There are two. There is one that is called Kawayu Onsen. Kawa is the river, Yu is the hot water, right? So the onsen, all the hotels are by the river. You have the Lotemburo, you have the Lotemburo in the river. And I went there, oh my god, I had been in Japan for something like 6 months, because I arrived at the end of July 1997, and I went there to spend New Year that very same year. Oh my god, with the snow, that was amazing to go into that, you know, the onsen in the outside. It was dreamland there, really. And like, you know, with the snowflakes, you're in the super hot water, and the snowflakes, it's so cold outside, but you're in the hot water, so you don't feel cold. That was an amazing onsen, I think. And there is another one. I have to ask the people who took me there. It was in Kyushu. It was such an expensive, like, I think something like $700 per person, 800 per person. It was basically like, the room wasn't a room, it was like a small apartment by Tokyo standards. At least I'd say 50-60 square meters, like a maisonette. Voilà, it was just so nice, and like in the mountain, like a village. All those, it was like small cottages. So it was like being in an old traditional Japanese village, but it was the onsen. You know, it was magical. I have to ask them where it was. I could, if I can get the information, I will put it in the description. I will put the Kawayu Onsen, that onsen area. I will put a link in the description afterwards, okay? You come to Japan sometimes, Deep Purple? What was the best Japanese meal you have eaten, and where did you eat the meal? Wow, that's a hard one. I've been living here for 22 years, so... I have to... this is secret places, guys, so... I think that I have super fond memories and delicious memories of meals that I had the first years with my colleagues in Wakayama. Even, you know, just the hot pots, it was just the real thing. The first year, you know, we went, I explained to you, I think that with the prefectural government we had, they were taking money out of our salary. It was, how do you say that? I did not have a choice. They would take some money from my account every month so that we could go, high difference, on holidays together once a year. And every time I'm like, you know, I don't want to go on holidays with my colleagues. When I'm on holidays, I want to, the last persons I want to be with is the people I work with, right? But anyways, we went in December before the end of the year holidays. We went to this Miishuku. So Miishuku, it's really like family-like hotel. Basically, it's like, you know, those traditional big houses that people rent. It's like they live there and they rent some of the rooms. So really it's thin walls because it's like a big house, right? And you know how they do that? Japanese people, they all sleep in the same room on the futon, and it's really like, c'est la colonie de vacances, we say in French. It's colonie de vacances. I don't know if you know how to say that, but and we had, it was really, it was a fisherman's house. So, oh my god, the hot pot with the fish, that was so fresh. It was so amazing, and like all you can eat almost, and all you can drink for such a cheap price. Attends, fais voir, I have Google Map open, colonie de vacances. Ah bon. That's a meal I remember very often. And maybe it wasn't, you know, the most exquisite, you know, and refined food that I've had, but I have a very fond memory of that dinner. Then I have a few places. I remember a meal that I had. I went there for a shooting for a French TV. I was helping a French crew as a coordinator and translator. And at the time, Koju, the restaurant Koju in Ginza, 3-star Michelin, 3 stars. The Michelin had been created for a year or two, so you know it was one of the restaurants you had to go to for people who are, you know, who have the means to go to such restaurants. Oh my god, that was amazing. I remember some of the dishes I ate, and like, oh my god, the grilled fish, how the booty. What is booty? Oh my god, booty was so good, like fatty, so good. Attends, booty, ego, booty ego de, dameda, yellowtail. Voilà. Oh my god, that was so amazing. Ok, alors. Yeah, Deep Purple, first holidays. Hello. Outside of French wine, what other wines do you like? Napa, Australian, South African, South American. We are like Argentina. You know, I love every wine, everyone too, every wine that is good. Yeah, you know, of course, like I always say, the wine that I drink most is champagne. I love champagne. It's just, oh my god, I love champagne. But I think I like Pinotage from South Africa. I love Pinotage. It's Nani dosta, no, il veut des câlins, ce petit chou d'amour. It's a grape that I like very much. I like Sauvignon Blanc, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. I like the freshness and that asparagus like that can have Sauvignon Blanc there. Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand helped me come to like white wine, not Bordeaux wines, because we used to make too dry white wines, I think. I like the mellow Sauvignon Blanc of New Zealand. Okay, hey, I'm going to call you Kiwi-chan then, Soham. Voilà. But then like Napa Valley wines, oh my god, there are so many amazing whites and reds. Like the Chardonnay, I love the Chardonnays from Napa Valley, and Pinot Noir too. Maybe less Merlot, but Pinot Noir and Chardonnay from Napa Valley I love. I love Swiss wines. They have great wines there too, very elegant. Comment on dit? Je n'ai pas de préjugés. I don't have prejudice. I don't have prejudice. No, je n'ai pas de préjugés. I'm super lazy. Well, that's the advantage of live streaming from home, right? Je n'ai pas de Attends, I have to put a French mode. German wines are good too. Ouais, préjudice, c'est ça. Ouais, mais attends, est-ce que c'est bien ça l'expression? Je n'ai pas de préjugés. I have no prejudices. Voilà. Alors. Good night, Joyce. Do you think I have visited all of Japan? Almost all of Japan, I think. But it's impossible. Even my own country, I haven't visited all, right? So I may like Burma if I like fish. Alors, Soham, I have a question from Jason, our friend, Jason Bourgeois. The question was, he's sleeping because he's in Canada, right? Talking about fish, because this is part of the answer. Tuesday. I will answer these questions next. Please, let's slow down with the questions. I have two to answer. Because I don't want to miss your questions, guys. Attends. Where is your question, Jason? Alors. Oh, shoot. The question was Phew. It was something like I think it was something like how, you know, I've been living here for 22 years, so how do I see the changes that might have occurred in the Japanese food since I've been living here, and also how have I changed my way of eating since I've been living here. So that's two questions. I hope, Jason, that I remember well. Our first Japanese food, I think that we see more and more, and it's pretty recent, I think. I see more and more when it comes to, let's say, restaurants, like I see more and more modern Japanese food. So it has, but we have that in France too. Like, it's difficult to find traditional French food in France now. Like, you know, the butter, the food that we used to cook with butter, and you know, it's a little bit maybe heavier. Maybe it's a little bit heavier, but that's, you know, like the traditional food with and then in Nico Miglioli, the stews and the sauces, etc., etc. It's hard to find classical French cuisine. And in Japan, we can still, there are still lots of classic traditional Japanese cuisine, but we see more and more modern Japanese cuisine. So if you eat a whole meal, it will be Brian, if you're, I don't think you're live right now. When you watch this on replay, that's the place I took you to. It's, you will find some traditional flavors. Of course, it's, you know, it's Japanese, so it will be Japanese flavors, but like kind of modern marriage of different flavors, and also the presentation, and also the way they cook the ingredients. Sometimes they use modern techniques, but even if it has a modern taste, at some point, you know, some of the dishes or part of the dish will be made in a traditional way. And also another, what we have now is just so crazy, is that they have all those, let's say, imported foods, like the tapioca drinks, like this is, I think, these days the most representative example, I think. But Japan is really good at you know, using those foreign things like that. They integrated it in their culture, and even in the food culture, but then sometimes they transform it and they make it even better. So Japan is always changing quickly, so of course with food it changes all the time. And like, you know, there are booms, like, I don't know, 15 years ago it was the Genghis Khan, you know, the lamb, the Mongol lamb grill, the Mongol grill, and after 3 years it's a boom, so you see many new Genghis Khan restaurants, and then after 3-4 years they have to close, because people, they need new things all the time. I hope that answered the question. As for me, how my, let's say, diet has changed. Hi, Coconut. Yes, I can see you are new here. This is the first time I see you commenting. Welcome. I think that I eat more fish more fish. I eat more sea products. In France, some people, they think that we don't eat that much. Japanese people, they think that we don't eat fish in France. We do eat fish, but the thing is that meat is cheaper. So we eat more meat, and also I think we are meat lovers, but we also love fish. But the thing is that fish is more expensive. Huh? In Japan, it's just easy to buy fish, and it's super delicious, right? So, bonjour Jérôme. I think thanks to that I eat more fish. Also the way it's presented. We don't have sashimi, raw fish in France. So I eat more sea products also, because there are products that 22 years ago we wouldn't hear of. I mean, in Bordeaux, maybe in Bretagne, because they have, you know, they are close to the sea, but in Bordeaux we eat more meat, I think, and like seaweed is not, it's starting to be popular in France also for because it's good for the health, so it's actually very popular now. But 22 years ago, to us, I mean, seaweed, it was to put as a decoration, to put on a plate, and we would put the oysters. Well, that's a different kind of seaweed, but you know, it was to use as a decoration, not something we would eat, right? Tofu, also I eat a lot of tofu now, and like, you know, soy beans based products, because we are in Japan, right? Also, one thing I didn't know in France, and I think even now, we don't have, when it comes to wagashi, as I've put a video about wagashi, you know, today, they have lots of products, not only wagashi, like for example, konnyaku. It's plant-based food. We don't have that in France. Merci, Jérôme. I will comment your comment afterwards. Attends, wallaby. Alors, wallaby, c'est la fougère. For example, I'm amazed. Do you know, guys, wallaby mochi? I wanted to make a video about wallaby mochi when my sister was here. Wallaby mochi is a jelly-like confection made of bracken starch, guys. This is a plant. This is like herb. You know what I mean? I mean, what? We don't eat bracken starch. And the process to make, I've seen that in a program, how to make to use the bracken, maybe it's the pronunciation, starch. It's amazing. And I always think, oh my God, how Japanese people could think about a way to use a plant like that. Because if not, it's not edible, right? And when I had this with my sister, she was like, what is this? And I said, this is the bracken starch base. And she would be like, huh? What? You know? And then we would have fun telling each other, hey, eat your bracken, you know? And we like, mange ta fougère. Because we would think this is just so crazy, you know, to use such a plant and turn it into such a delicious dessert, sweet. Hein? Voilà, okay, many questions. J'aime bien avoir des commentaires en français. Coucou, j'ai 22 ans, tu m'as envie. Thank you. I haven't changed that much, this is true. I hope I don't change all of a sudden. Alors attends. Yes. Is my family supporting about me living in France? Yes, they are. Even if I think they didn't think I would stay for so long. So my father, even if he doesn't say anything, well, now it's okay. But after a few years, I think he was a little bit thinking, okay, is she going to come back at some point? But I go back regularly. The average is twice a year. So, konnichiwa, Umi-san. Alors, is fish less expensive than meat? It can be. Oh yes, very often. Yes. The imported meat, Australian, we have lots of Australian and American meat. That's cheap, but that's also depends. We sometimes the Angus beef can be good, but then I'm sorry my American friends, but the American meat that is imported in Japan is just, that's gross, and it's horrible, I think. And also we know all of the conditions the meat is produced. No way I'm buying this, and also it looks gross. This is not good quality, I think. Voilà. I'm going to make more enemies today because I'm so frank as always. But I prefer to eat less meat, but good meat. And to make good meat, you treat the animals good if you want to get good meat. You don't produce them like as if they were things, right? Voilà, ça y est, je commence à m'énerver là quand je pense à ça. It's like the eggs and it's ça m'énerve. Bon. Alors. Thank you, Chuck. Love the channel. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Alors, is there one or two specific elements of French everyday life food that you can't easily find there and miss? Good question. No, there is not. If you have the money to buy it, you can find everything in Japan, I think. But I'm thinking, no, we can find really everything in Japan now, especially in Tokyo. This is why I don't come back from France with 10 or 15 kilos of food now. But then, there are brands or specific products, even in Japan, for French or Japanese products. I go, even in Tokyo, in the city, I go, okay, my bread I buy here. I mean, now we can find such delicious bread in Japan. We can find delicious cheese, but it's super expensive, so I don't buy cheese that much. We can find anything. What is better, I think, in France is the duck, camo. フランスの鴨の方が美味しい because it has a gibier taste. Ramses doesn't want people to kiss me, guys. You got that? Alors, attends. So no, it's not hard to find French products, and also we can find anything really in Tokyo, guys. Alors, do people still make me feel tired by complimenting me on how excellent are we on your excellent Japanese or chopstick skills, even though you've been here for 2 decades? Less difference. That's a super good question. Yes, it's it was annoying me the first few years. It doesn't annoy me anymore because it's just, Um, what surprises me actually, and I'm like, wow, thank you, you know, is when people, they're like, ah, konnichiwa, hajimemashite, Jennifer desu, blah blah blah, and then they're like, and right away, oh my god, your Japanese is so good, and I'm like, no, it's normal because I've been living here for 22 years, and then they're like, oh yeah, if you've been living here for 22 years, it's normal, you can speak that well. And I'm like, okay, but I'm surprised that they would say that because it's so rare. But it's okay, you know. I have become better. I have to be really, really tired or in a bad mood, which almost never happens anymore because you know I've grown up. And I think that being in a bad mood is just it's a waste of time. So it's okay. I don't get upset by those questions anymore. Voilà. Ah oui, alors tu sais ça. Have you ever felt so fed up by Japan that you wanted to leave and start all over somewhere else? Oh la la. No, she's like, Mama, no, don't go away. Of course not. I have, yes, I have. But it's not because of Japan, I think. I have. Now, I'd like to ask you that question, guys. Don't you sometimes feel so fed up and bored and like not knowing the point of it all, of just being alive? I mean, because this is it in the end to me. When you've lost interest in everything and you feel you don't even know that because you don't know the reason of your not being happy anymore and feeling like throwing away everything and start anew somewhere else. I think that if I were living, no matter where I would be living, this would have happened in my life. It might happen again. Maybe I'm wrong if I say that I think it happens at least once in everyone's life. If I'm wrong, sorry about that, guys, but it happened to me a few times. It might happen again. I deal with that feeling better now because I'm just, you know, it's just that I will talk you more. This will be, maybe one day I'll be ready to make, you know, live streams about my personal life, but it's just that, you know, I'm just dealing better with those ups and downs that I have in my life. So it doesn't happen to me anymore, waking up in the morning and thinking, what the fuck am I doing here, you know? And it's not what am I doing here. It was just, the reason was that I was unhappy in my life for many reasons, I think, you know. But it wasn't because of Japan. Voilà. Did that answer your question? You can't find camel milk in Japan. Wow, camel milk! Oh my god, that would be sugoi to find camel milk here. Alors. Alors attends, Deep Purple, the French, the bracken food, it's Japanese wagashi. Hein? Thank you, Coconut, for agreeing with my statement. What has been the hardest part of leaving France and settle in Japan? Alors, oh my god, and now where? I wasn't, you know, thinking, I didn't think I would stay for so long. I was living for a year, and to me it was like, oh my god, I have to go to that country. I think had exactly the same reaction 10 days ago when I did the first part of this live stream, right? Because I was happy with my life in France at the time. I had a boyfriend that I had to leave, that I was, it was a really nice relationship. So I wasn't really happy about the fact that I had to leave for a year. But hey, hi Phil. Daijoubu, no worries. Okay, I will let you know. I saw your message, didn't have the time to answer, but thank you, dear, for, being worried. Daijoubu. It's just hard because you have, if you're not, I wanted to live abroad, but not that far. I was more thinking of working like in England, as I said before, I think. It's hard because you live your routine. So I think that as it would be hard for me to, the country today would be hard for me, it would be hard to go back to France like today. If, I don't know, something like when Fukushima happened, I asked myself the question, like, do I go back to France or not? Because the situation at the Fukushima plant was worrying. And I realized that I couldn't go back because I loved Japan so much. I've realized that in the live streams that I've made taking topics this last month in Japan, maybe I don't, it's been topics like safety in Japan. There's been a few topics I think I haven't talked about. Maybe I have talked about negative things in Japan, and I thought that maybe it didn't seem like I like Japan. I love Japan. It's just that I'm not, unlike many live streamers, I'm not always, oh my god, Japan is so cool and I love it so much. I like those people. I think I had a reaction to those few lives that I saw of other people, because Japan is not all roses and butterflies, and especially the safety questions was dear to my heart, because you've heard of my experience, and I had to talk about it because when Samantha was in Japan, and then I saw comments and some of you were like, yeah, it's okay, you can walk in dark alleys in Japan. No, you can't walk in dark alleys in Japan, nor in a country. I think this is common sense. And recently, because I've been doing some thinking after finding my channel so crappy. Hi Max. J'ai fait le point, en fait. I did an assessment, I think, of what I was doing. And I thought, wow, maybe, people think that I don't like Japan because of those themes that I've talked about. I do love Japan. If I didn't love Japan, I wouldn't be here. Voilà. So I wanted to tell you that. There will be some live streams with positive themes some days, but seeing that I don't think there are many live streams or videos telling about the not so positive aspects of Japan, this is why I think I did it. But there are many things, like amazing things about Japan that I love and that I will approach. Those topics I will raise some days. Voilà. I lost it. What was I talking about, guys? What was I talking about before je me suis encore éparpillée. Karine, de quoi je parlais là en fait? Ah oui, donc so the question was, did I want to throw everything away and start anew? I think we can have many lives in one life, so maybe I will do it someday. It's not too late. But if I wanted to do that, it's not because of Japan. It was because of my life. And I've told you that before, but before I came to Japan, I had an orientation in Paris because, you know, I came thanks to a program after taking some tests and etc. etc. And there is this one person who told us, if you have problems in France, no matter what kind of problems, do not think that by going to Japan, all of your problems will be solved. And that person was very right, because I don't know if you're unhappy in your life, if you have problems with your parents or with your family or with your friends, or with you dealing with work, or if you are depressed, you will take all of that in your luggage and leave that. Of course, at the beginning, maybe the change of atmosphere will make you forget about your psychological problems, but it will come back. So if I had been in France, I would have felt like that at some point in my life, I think. Voilà, voilà. I hope that answers your question. Alors, I don't think there is any country that is all good. Yes, Maria, all have their ups and downs, and it's all about to get the best out of it. That's a very good thing to say, and this is how I'm trying to live, Maria. You know, I have lots of people who tell me, French people, when they come here, I have people who told me that I took what was best in France and what was best in Japan, and I am a mix of both. I'm not all good either, but certainly I've tried to take the best in Japanese culture, and that's helped me in work, like things, you know, of the Japanese way of doing things, and maybe also my way of thinking has changed since I've been living in Japan, because I've become, part of me has become Japanese, that's for sure. But I think it's the good parts that I've assimilated. I look happy, c'est vrai? Oui. It's a matter of balance, you are very right. Sharon, yes, we take our personality wherever we go. Alors, I must have missed lots of questions, but maybe, guys, okay, I'm getting a little bit, you know, we've been doing this for some time now. I'm thinking we can do part 3 of this now that, you know, I've got this, I started these live streams. You like it? Oh my god, you know, Phil, I took out all of my things out of the cupboards, and I've had this for years. And, you know, I have so many clothes, it's crazy. You know, I try not to to stock up things, but nice clothes you don't want to throw away, right? And especially it's like brand new, even if I wore it a few years ago. And I took it out from the, and it's like I'm wearing a new top, right? Thank you, Phil. So I'm okay. If you have 1 or 2 questions, and then I think we can stop, because I'm starting. I think it's, you know, I'm not 100%. I haven't recovered from my cold quite yet. I'm feeling actually super hungry, guys. So if you have 1 or 2 questions, I can answer those, and then we can do part 3. Wow, I think the babies are getting hungry too. We can do part 3. We will do part 3. You know me, it can be tomorrow or it can be in 2 weeks. Merci, Karine. What was my first meal the day I came to Japan? Wow. Not sure it was Japanese because we were at, you know, as I came with the JET program, we had this orientation in Tokyo. But the first meal I remember was composed of maguro no osashimi, tuna sashimi. It was the first time I was having raw fish, and it was like, oh my god, I was like, wow, that's so different, you know. And there was some tororo. Tororo is, I think it comes from yam potato. Do you say that? You know, if you grate it, it becomes very like slurpy, something like that. And I don't look that so good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting, I'm just like these last 10 minutes, I feel like, oh my god, my brain is not functioning anymore. But that was, we don't have raw fish in France, you know, so I remember that first meal. To me, that was one of the first meals and that I enjoyed very much. Voilà, that was, let's say, something that marked me. Alors, and a last one. Merci, Maria. You know, it's hard to get a good balance, but it's everyday work. Huh? Because I think the balance can be spoiled. Just very small thing can spoil everything. It's hard to feel balanced and be happy. It's an everyday work, I think. To me it is. But what do I have for dinner? I think I'm going to make myself some curry, a salad, some curry with rice. Voila. Because I had too late lunch, I think. And I'm trying to detox a little bit. So, merci beaucoup, guys. Yeah, crazy, and I know. Darling, daijoubu, no problem. I have to, in August, I'm going to start working on the language videos. After 3 months, when I've told you that, I will do it. Trevor, merci beaucoup. Thank you all, guys. Beaucoup d'anciens combattants de la Légion étrangère française au Japon, je n'en ai aucune idée. I have no idea. Wikipédia, voilà. Please check out on Google. Guys, thank you very much. The babies want to say hello too. Merci, Karine. Voilà, la petite starlette, les Atiens. On va aller se promener. We can go and have our walk now. It's probably not that hot. They would die if we'd go, you know, during the day, and the temperatures are just too hellish. Tomorrow I will upload the video with the omanyaki when I'm eating it, with those, it's not too compact, the comments, but I know that some of you like to hang out with me. So Maria, merci, Crazy Anne, and Nosh, Ramses, thank you for moderating the live stream. You had some work today. And thank you to all the others, the newcomers. Thomas, temporary Gmail, hi and goodbye. Phil, bisous, David, Thomas, Jérôme. Ah, voilà, à bientôt, guys. Love you. See you soon, very soon. Bye. Get ready more questions for next time. À bientôt.